Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, welcome back. Let's get another check of that afternoon forecast. Cedric, it was a beautiful weekend here.
Oh, man.
I'm hoping that would continue into today, but I already walked outside and can tell it's not going to.
Well, I didn't want to ruin your hope.
I ruined it for myself.
You did. But that's okay.
Saved you the
reality is everything. So that's the good news. Hey, you mentioned this weekend and how nice it was. I don't get to do this often, so especially this time of the year. So I wanted to show you this graphic that I put together. Yes, I love to pull this out whenever I can. Oh, it was one of those weekends, folks.
Listen, let me tell you, It's going to be that before we know it.
That is going to be that before. It's already here. It was a below average weekend. Did you get the coffee and the fireplace? Maybe you didn't do all of that.
Not quite.
Not quite. Well, hey, you could have, because it was. Let me show you. Saturday, my goodness, I might have saw some hoodies out Saturday because we had temperatures only hitting 80 degrees in Salt Lake City on Saturday. That was about 15 degrees below average for this time of the year. Sunday, we didn't do too much better. It was a little warmer, but still several degrees below average for a high temperature. So maybe over-exaggerated a little bit with the coffee mug and the fireplace, but you get the idea. It was a nice, refreshing weekend after all of this extreme heat that we seem to be stuck with here across the Beehive State. All right, let's take you outside the ABC4 studios right now. A nice little light breeze showing up, but notice all the blue skies out there, clear conditions, temperatures warming up fast. We're up to 85 degrees currently in Salt Lake City. As we look at your forecast highs today, again, depending on where you are, the temperature trend is going to be a little different. So we've got numbers that are right at or slightly below average for this time of the year, once again today across most of northern Utah. But you get down across southwest Utah, temperatures are going to be flirting with some very hot conditions with about 106 expected in St. George this afternoon. So, yeah, it's always kind of a tale of the two halves of Utah, but still, today, if you're across the north, enjoy one more refreshing day before it all begins to change. That's right, the heat dome, that's our friend, right? It returns as we go into the next couple of days. That means a big warm-up moves across northern Utah over the next few days. So enjoy the comfortable temperatures while we have them, because they're going to change here in the coming days. Of course, as high pressure builds overhead, that usually means sunshine and dry conditions. And that's what we're going to be experiencing here as we go throughout the next several days. And we may be tracking some slightly cooler air returning by later in the week, but still, that's going to be on the slight side when it comes to a cooling trend. Let me show you Futurecast. We got a lot of high pressure. That's about it across the western half of the country now. As we go into today, we'll see quiet conditions all across the west. But by tomorrow, we try to throw in a little moisture. But you'll notice the majority of that will be out to our north in Idaho and Montana, and then down towards portions of Colorado. We're looking still fairly dry here across the Beehive State as we go into the afternoon hours. Now, Wednesday could have a couple of clouds, maybe a sprinkle out there. But again, looking mainly dry even through midweek. But all hope is not lost when it comes to those rain chances. I don't have very high rain chances in the forecast, but I do have something. And that's, hey, we'll take that this time of the year, right? St. George, I bumped your rain chances up to about a 20% chance here from Thursday, Friday, into Saturday of an isolated downpour developing somewhere in or near Washington County. That could be some good news there for us. Rain chances in the Wasatch Front, I bumped it up to about a 30% chance, so a slightly better chance. But the big story, no doubt about it, this heat dome building. Look at the heat alerts just to our west and southwest. Well, guess what? That heat dome is giving us cooler conditions for one more day, but that heat dome will be breaking down and pushing towards the east as we go into your Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's going to mean a big warm-up as we see hotter temperatures settling in across the area. So along the Wasatch Front, we go from below average today to above average by the middle of the week. And at St. George, we just stay above average, but a slight cool down by the end of the week. So as we look at the 7-day, you can see 106 today, 108 Tuesday, 106 on Wednesday. Maybe an isolated shower by Thursday and the Friday, the Wasatch Front. Below average today, but near 100 on Wednesday, and maybe a few isolated storms by the end of the week. Matt?
All right, looks